You ever wonder why your realtor sends three lender names your way? Or have they ever insisted that you use theirs? On the surface, it sounds helpful, but here's the reality. The rule that the realtor must send three lender names is made up. There is no law that requires it. It became a habit. And the habit came from fear, not the rules. So for years, agents were told, give three names so you're not accused of steering. And the advice got passed down from broker to broker, mentor to mentor, even though it was never an actual requirement. From a buyer's perspective, what does it actually do? You're just trying to buy a house. Suddenly you're conducting job interviews. How are you supposed to sort that out? Do you call all three? Do you compare emails? Do you just go with whoever quotes the lowest rate? Because that's usually what happens. People assume the best quote is the best lender. And the problem is sometimes that quote is blowing smoke just to get you in the door. And yes, it happens all the time. Here's what that three lender rule creates. Confusion. Either someone's blowing smoke to win the deal, or you're already approved, you like your lender, and suddenly you're told to call more or switch the preferred one. That's pressure, and that confusion pressure halts progress. It also pushes that decision onto you, the buyer, someone who doesn't have the context to know who actually closes, who quotes responsibly, or who the listing agent trusts because that lender has a reputation for closing. But you're not trying to shop a profession, you're trying to buy a house and be directed to the next steps. So where did this practice come from? Years ago, this industry had a real problem. Lenders were paying realtors for referrals, cash, gifts, trips, marketing money. RESPA exists to stop that. It makes it illegal for a lender to give a realtor money or anything of value in exchange for business. Once that behavior became illegal, agents needed a way to protect themselves from the appearance of steering. So giving multiple lender names became a defense. It's not a rule, not a requirement, a defense. But here's what matters today. That defense habit doesn't actually protect agents, and it doesn't help you, the buyer. And this is where people bring up lawsuits about Zillow. What about steering cases? Yes, those exist, but they're not about agents recommending one trusted professional. Those cases are about compensation-driven steering. In other words, platforms or systems influencing where a consumer goes, not because it's best for the consumer, but because someone's getting paid behind the scenes. And that's what regulators care about. The money influencing the direction. So sending three names doesn't prevent that. A broker policy doesn't prevent that. And giving a list doesn't insulate anyone if compensation is involved. Either way, you could have all three lenders say, hey, Mr. Realtor, send all your clients to me. As a buyer, you wouldn't even know. So what actually helps buyers is clarity. The best agent you can work with is someone that gives direction. They don't just hand a buyer a list. They recommend a lender that's going to get the job done. The same way they recommend one inspector, one escrow officer, one plumber, one handyman. And as a buyer, if you're given three names, you can just ask, who do you really recommend? Who's the best? Who do you trust to get this deal done?